to the new video, guys. I streamed for 7 hours on the Fury Crafting stream and it was definitely a lot of fun. But is Hearthstone really saved from the new Across the Timeways expansion? In this video I'm gonna go through all of the classes and what I saw and what actually felt broken, so you have a much better idea of what you should be expecting once the actual expansion launches. Hope you find the video helpful, and if you do, a like and subscribe would be awesome. But now, let's get into it.
You are not prepared!
I'm gonna go through the neutral cards and tell you if I saw anything that felt really strong or felt weak and so on and so forth, and we're also gonna go through the different classes and I'm gonna tell you what kind of decks I saw, what felt great, what flopped, and so on and so forth. And starting off with the neutrals, I gotta say a lot of these cards didn't really see much play. Like, I barely saw any neutrals having any impact on the game. There are some wonky OTK combos with things like Chrono Lord Deus. It was a priest, if I'm not mistaken, which definitely did some crazy stuff. Time Lord Nisdormu felt like an okay-ish card at best, and the Whelp of Infinite saw a decent amount of play. But other than that, I really didn't see all that too much neutral cards, aside from the ones we already have access to, like Portal Master Vanguard, which is obviously a no-brainer, and also Mr. Clocksworth, which is still okay, and Hearthstone needs to update their library, because this guy only has 2 rewinds right now, but that's none of my business. Anything else out of the neutral cards, I really didn't see all that much of, so I'm not sure how amazing that sounds, but that was how it looked like. And now let's move down through every class and talk about what felt strong and what didn't feel strong, and starting off with Rafam, gotta say he flopped big time, guys. I don't know if you checked out my latest video with it, where I did play him for over 1 hour, and the deck just couldn't win much. Like, having 40 cards in your deck, still kinda bad, guys. Even though every single Reform card is actually freaking amazing, like, they really work well together, it just was a little bit too all over the place. Like, with a 40 card deck, you are gonna have a very hard time pulling off some good synergies, and this deck was no different. It's basically like a Renafall deck, but without the extra health benefit, and even though the cards themselves were pretty amazing, the end result was you just don't get him fast enough, and things were way too quick even on the Fury Crafting, so I don't know what that means in the actual meta. Like, it's gonna be even harder to actually pull off something meaningful out of him. And even though we were forced to run 9 other cards except for Rafam, it was actually looking pretty grim for that archetype so far. What did actually feel strong was the aggro archetype with the Shreds of Time you shuffle back into your deck, and an aggressive deck like that should be seeing a lot of play, I do believe. There is still yet to be found a really good refined deck for that, but if you manage to find the balance of great aggro as well as great healing, I think this deck should work. And yeah, comboing them off with the Zerk package so you can heal for a bunch with the location and get yourself some 8/8s definitely sounds like a good idea, so I will be expecting to see a lot more Shred of Time when the expansion launches. And it's also probably gonna be worth checking out in the Tavern Brawl, so make sure to give that one a check too. With Mage, a lot of OTK mages out there, like Azure Queen Syndragosa comboed off with that free mana spell that gives you a frozen copy of a minion. You draw it out with your free mana watercolor artist, and you get yourself 0 mana copies of Syndragosa or Malagos or both, and things go 0 to 60 real freaking fast. Like, there is OTK potential out there, guys. A lot of it too. So I will be expecting a lot of combo Azure Queen Syndragosa mages out there when the expansion launches. You get yourself 0 mana Alter Times, which gives you more discounted stuff. Like, it was actually kind of crazy, and I am genuinely scared how this deck is gonna feel in the real meta. I'm not sure it's gonna be top tier, but it definitely felt very bad to face once they pop off. Other than that, I didn't see anything else from Mage so far, so moving down to Warrior, which I didn't see all that much of, but there is this Enrage Warrior out there that felt strong, and also Lagash Bloodfighter definitely proved to be quite the menacing card as well. Like, pulling off 12/12s out of their asses definitely was not such a fun experience for me, that's for sure. And I literally thought I won that one game. I killed a 7/7 and a freaking 14/14 taunt came out, which was pretty disgusting, not gonna lie. But yeah, Enrage Warrior might be something to look out for once the expansion launches. It definitely seems like it has a good amount of support right now, but we will see how that go. Haven't seen a single Chrono Lord Apoch, however, so I was excited about this card and thought it'd be real strong, but so far I haven't seen it in action. With Demon Hunter, it actually has potential, the no minion Demon Hunter, but something that I actually realized mid Fury Crafting stream was that this deck gets hella countered by the freaking Garona King lane card, because you shuffle a minion in the opponent's deck, guys. That kind of breaks half the deck's synergy, so if that deck becomes meta, this deck will have a big issue if it didn't have enough issues. Broxigar also looked actually somewhat playable, and people have been experimenting with Timeway Warden, putting minions dormant for 10,000 turns and board locking the opponent. Actually sounds kinda interesting, but I'm not sure how actually meta that's gonna be at the end. With Rogue, I didn't really get to see all that much, but Garona definitely felt like a flop. The payoff out of it was not that amazing, and I'm not sure it's because if it was a Fury Crafting stream, maybe if you just slap in Garona into a burn Rogue, like something very, very aggressive that doesn't really care too much about Garona, but it's still a nice little extra thing to be doing, it might be worth it, but with the Kingslayers drawing extra legendaries for the opponent, a lot of the time it just draw them extra benefits instead of drawing them king lane. But yeah, with Garona being into a super aggressive deck, not having to run all of these other not so amazing cards, maybe it's gonna work, but for the Fury Crafting stream, it felt floppy. Didn't see too much of the rest of the cards either, so for now, let's move down to the Shaman class, which is honestly the big winner out of the expansion. Muradin looked amazingly strong, and it was amazingly strong. Like, seriously, that deck has a very, very hard time losing, and you could be doing a lot of early game tempo with things like the Storm Rooks as well as the Flux Revenants, and you could be doing a lot of late game OTK potential with Muradin and the weapon that just keeps on coming over and over again with extra attack. Combo this off with a bunch of ways to actually give your champion another even more attack. You basically do upwards of 20 damage per turn that way, which is kinda insane. Farseer Woe was actually also pretty decent, giving you some nature spells was pretty cool, and you could get yourself even more face damage this way for your weapon potential, but it is a little bit random at the end of the day. Like, there's so many nature spells out there right now, you can't really rely too much on him giving you exactly what you're looking for. With Druid, I actually tried some of that Dredge Chrono Druid, and it felt kinda busted, not gonna lie. We were forced to run some bad cards like, let's say, Highborn Mentor, which didn't feel amazing at all, but with things like the free mana Calderay Cultivator, giving you a couple of big beasts at the bottom with a +5, and then followed up with Contingency or with Chrono Keeper, it really did feel amazingly good. I did combo it off with the Cuddle Up Druid core, so we were able to do a lot of big things help the Chrono, and you could combo it off with something like a Taunt Druid as well. That might also work real well. So yeah, Druid is still gonna be cheating out a lot of good stuff relatively early if you manage to ramp nice and quick. Didn't see any Lady Ajaras, but to be fair, I'd say she would be working best in things like Dollhouse Druid, so you can't really build a Dollhouse Druid with 10 new cards, that's for sure, so it's gonna take a little bit more time for us to actually see her in action. With Hunter, I gave Quest Hunter a try, which was a Fury Crafting deck from our very own Trim, and the deck did feel pretty good actually. The deck felt good because we did have quite a lot of new minions that support it. Like, there's the new Arrow Retriever, which is a free attack minion, there's the new 1 mana neutral cards, the Paltry Flutterwing, and most importantly, there's the new 7 attack free drop minion that helps you get that elusive 7 attack minion, which was a lot harder to do back in the day. Can I freaking find that guy? There we have it, the Sand Maw. It's an elemental beast, so this thing sitting at 7/2 a free mana, it actually makes completing your quest even easier, and same can be said for Devious Coyote. Again, that is going to be the 5 attack mark, which again was not very, very easy to actually achieve. So with all of that support, Beast Hunter definitely felt a lot better. We also had Untimely Death, and the deck did not feel super amazing, and I actually didn't see all that much of Ranger Sylvanas, but maybe there was just too much trouble actually fitting 10 Fury Crafting cards from the new expansion for this to make enough sense, but this card still, I do believe, is going to have a lot of good stuff for Hunter. Priest honestly felt like the other big winner of the expansion. I don't know if people were just really try-harding with it, but the thing actually felt strong. Like, Medivh is strong, the new Cease to Exist spell is strong, and Intertwined Fates was hella strong. Like, people stealing my Shaman weapon like that was pretty disgusting, not gonna lie. So yeah, Control Priest might be back on the menu with things like the Imbue package. Definitely felt like a force to be reckoned with. Like, you feel like you almost won, and then they just freaking heal back to full, and the fight starts all over again. A lot of repackages, a lot of heal for 14, a lot of nonsense like that feel pretty disgusting, as Control Priests love to do. So yeah, if you're into that shit, you might want to get excited about this one. Control Priest should be back on the menu, boys. As for Paladin, I gave a try for the Gelben Aura Paladin, and it was pretty decent, but I feel like it's not gonna work in the actual meta. It might be a little bit too slow, but it was pretty fun for sure. Pulling out 5 auras out of your deck, increasing their turns up to 5 turns per aura was actually kinda insane, but a little bit too slow, and the deck itself did not have a super amazing win condition, not gonna lie. The Manifest the Timeway also was pretty cool. The Harding Protector was insanely strong, same can be said for Amend the Timeline, so all around Pally got a lot of good things for sure, but I'm not sure how good it was. I actually didn't see any Fins from Beyond, which is kinda interesting, but to be fair, I do believe this card is gonna be really strong into a Murloc Quest Paladin, so until people can actually play decks without 10 new cards, this card is not gonna feel that amazing. And I would say Death Knight was also feeling super good, like Bwonsamdi was really amazing, Husk was really good, reviving Bwonsamdi over and over again with the Manifest was pretty nuts, and all around, like, I do believe Death Knight is gonna remain a top tier class, both from Diamond Legend and in Top Legend. I do believe Death Knight got a lot of good tools out of this expansion, and you should be pretty happy if you're enjoying that class yourself. Anyway, I will be giving you overviews of all of the decks I tried yesterday on the Fury Crafting stream. It was a grand total of 6, so 5 more decks to go out of me, so I hope you enjoy those, cause plenty more where that came from. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and do let me know in the comments which class you're most excited about. Thanks for watching, I'm Kris05, and I'll see you in my next video, or stream.